Like you could potentially be out of championship before.
So we were like underdogs in both our last 2 years, and we beat Ottmore and beat Clamars.
Yeah.
Their summer was over, and then we had like 10 weeks off, and then the championship started.
Teams even really care about the.
And that's it. The first game, like it's so stiff.
So important.
So they've changed it now this year.
Yeah.
See, we're just. I don't know if it's just because Derry are never anywhere near that, but we're just. Championship is like end of August, June, July time.
Yeah.
You know, so we finish league and then you just play championship.
Oh, so your championship is finished at the end of August?
No, it starts.
Oh,
But
yeah,
our
okay.
league's all finished.
Okay.
But I don't know if that's better or worse.
We'd still be playing league football to a championship as well. But they've changed now this year. I think that's a bit better. So it's all league played at once, and then championship is all at once.
Yeah.
Gives kind of guys the opportunity when they're going away to go
Aye.
away.
Well, that's it. Like we went away and we missed one league game last summer, then came back and was straight into everything else.
Our league has been changing like every couple of years. They change it around, and last year we had a 12-week break
What?
in the middle, and this week now they've went back, but they've added another fucking. They've added like another 6 games on their league, so we went from having like no games last year to now there being far more. Changes about like every fucking year.
Yeah, it's madness really.
Oh, it's a handling, like, I don't know, there's just it seems to be a wild thing within Gaelic of just changing things
Yeah.
as quickly as possible. Are you doing a bit of travelling or something now next wee while, or
I'm going to Australia on Tuesday.
for good, or
No, just for a month.
just for months?
For a month, yeah.
Visit the brother, or?
Visit the brother, go out and visit a few friends and a few of the boys I live with, and then come back. So
Very good.
just back in time for the league and then go from there. So,
Right. Let's get started here.
I have to ask first. Is that a Mayo jersey you on?
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same.
Oh, it looked
Looks
like
like
it.
a Mayo jersey.
Yeah, that's alright. It would have killed me otherwise.
Yeah. Could see you are just sitting watching it the whole time. Right. Okay, Cian and Shairoze, welcome to the podcast.
And Sheen, thanks for having us.
Thanks
No
very much.
problem.
Thanks for having us.
So, Shairoze, you're just off from winning Sigerson this year.
Yes, that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
What was that like? Is that the first time you won it, or is this the second time you won it, or?
It's my first season, yeah. So the guys won it the year before I actually went to college. So we haven't won it in DCU in 4 or 5 years.
It must have been good.
Nice feeling to win it, yeah. And we had a couple of good nights after it. So
I can imagine. Is that your final year at university, or
final year of my undergrad, yes.
the masters?
Hoping to. I haven't decided in what yet or where, but that's
Is it just for the football aspect, or is it for the education?
actual no education? I have time to get serious in life and kind of figure out what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, I suppose.
What do you do, Danny?
I'm studying sports science at the moment.
Right.
Again in final year, so nearly done. Last hurdle. So.
You thinking something down that route, sports science, or?
No, to be honest, I'm looking at business.
Uh-huh.
Looking at kind of a general business masters at the moment. I have to kind of do some research on it and find out exactly what I'm going to do.
It's funny, I went the opposite way. So like I done business in undergrad, now I'm doing strength and conditioning masters. So I went the opposite way around it.
Okay.
I think I realised that business, like the theoretical side, just kind of bored me. But I think whenever you get into it more, you like now I realise strength and conditions will they only go one day, but you have to sometimes go through certain courses to figure out that's maybe not the way you want to go down with it. Like
well, I got into sports science. I really wanted to do sports science. Got into it. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. There's certain aspects of it I love it. I love the kind of working with the elite environment. So I would have done my placement with Tennis Ireland.
Right.
That would have been kind of just the elite of the elite in Ireland in tennis, which was brilliant. But I don't think general pops for me.
Yeah.
And then having set up GRG with the two boys, Cian and Tom, that brings the business side into it. So that's where the interest for business comes in.
Yeah, it's nice to have that there. And then what's it like playing Sigerson, with a completely new group of players each year? What's that experience like?
It's not really the new group every year because
Yeah.
a lot of the group kind of stays over most years. You lose 5 or 6 players, but then the rest of the squad is kind of younger guys that didn't get to play or guys that weren't playing the year before that kind of step up the following year. You might have 1 or 2 master's students or guys that have come in from other colleges studying, but very few. It's generally
Pretty much the same team.
it's core squad stays similar.
And then what's like a weekly training look like for you at Sigerson level?
We train twice a week, a Monday and a Wednesday, depending on how games fell. And then if a game was Wednesday or Tuesday, we only trained once. So once or twice a week, and then one game, depending on.
And you won the Mayo under-21s, was that 2 years ago or?
2016.
So a couple of years ago, what's like would you say the standard is similar at Sigerson to that under-21 level, or do you notice a difference in it?
I think Sigerson standards, I'd say,
big step up.
Just a bit higher than under-21 or under-20 football, I feel.
Yeah.
I think it's just below inter-county football at the moment. Well, that's how I place it.
It's all inter-county players, essentially.
Exactly, yeah. So like teams I played with over the years have been all inter-county players that are currently playing with their counties or have gone on to play with their counties.
Yeah. It's just a different level altogether. You must find your own game has improved massively just by playing at that level too.
Definitely, yeah. You're training with guys that are kind of a higher level, they're higher skill level, and physically they're better. Tactically, skill wise, they're just better players than your normal club players or kind of local guys. So that pushes you on.
Yeah.
Just for your own.
I definitely can imagine.
Yeah.
Can imagine good connections as well with the with sending out all the gear and stuff as well. Do boys?
You make friends from all over the country, and all over different counties, so they come in used for something, I suppose.
Networking's everything.
Exactly.
It's everything. And then Cian, you've been back home now for a few years.
Yeah, so 2 years last month.
How has it been adjusting back home?
Been pretty hard, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah. Only the last few months I really feel like I've settled in again.
What's been hard about it?
Everything, I suppose. I left after my leaving cert. Went out there playing football full time, getting a good salary. To come back to the west of Ireland, back to the home house, no car. It was just, it was tough.
Like I had Keelan Mooney on the podcast.
Oh yeah.
And Keelan was out with, with Geelong maybe, or
No, was it Essendon?
I can't remember who it was, but he kind of said something. I think Keelan left after the sort of last couple of years of school, and then whenever he came back, it was just this whole void that they had missed of, whether it be uni and work and stuff.
Yeah.
A lot to kind of catch up on in a couple of years.
Yeah, see, my thought process coming home was I'd come home, go straight into college in September, and that'd be me set. I'd be home, back into life again, and came home then, finding it hard. College just seemed like a big step, so put it off now until this year, hopefully. So 2.5 years later, but eventually. What have
you been doing yourself for 2.5 years then?
So luckily, Andy Moore has looked after me. So he's a club mate of mine. So I'm working his gym in the Movement in Castlebar. So I've been there for 2 years, and then Shairoze and Tom Parson with GRG. So between the two, I've been kind of keeping busy.
I would say that starting GRG over the past couple of months and like getting into it big over the past couple of months has probably helped kind of settle yourself back in as well.
Yeah.
Gives you nearly a bit of a purpose too, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Well, for me, so I was looking to go back and then decided not to, and then I was waiting out to be a mature student. So I'm going applying as a mature student this year, and then wanted to go and travel and stuff. So I'm doing the boys' heading because I'm going away every second week, but I finally booked a trip.
Hard boy to work with.
When he's there, he's useful, so it's good to have him.
Yeah.
So then, going back to kind of your time in Australia, what was that experience like?
Loved it.
Many years were you there?
Loved it. I was in my 4th year, so I was there 3.5 years. So I had a lot of injuries. So when I first went over, I went over an ACL. So I did my ACL against Kerry in the All-Ireland semi-final. And I think, so that was on the Sunday, but the Monday beforehand, the Lions had agreed to pick me up.
Alright.
So they told my mum and my brother they were going to sign me, but they didn't tell me because obviously I was getting ready for Kerry. Then I 10-12 minutes into the game did my knee, and then they didn't know what was happening, so
they took you anyway?
Still took me anyway, yeah. So they were true to their word, and went over there and they were very good to me. So was injured for the first year with my knee. Second year then I had a lot of groin trouble, so with the minors and some overtraining, had some bad injuries. I had my groins reconstructed in my second year.
What happened there?
How long do we have?
No. Could be opening up a big can of worms here now.
No, so I played Mayo minor, my bad age and my good age, and we used to train pretty hard.
You played it in your bad age and your good age?
Sorry, my not bad age and good age, but my underage. So I say I was.
You were one of the younger guys on the team.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you played it near like when you were like 16, 17, and you played it when you were 18.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Not bad age, but your younger age.
Yes. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was just like a Mayo term or something.
Maybe it is. I'm not sure.
Maybe it is. I've never heard that one. Anyway, sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead then.
No, that's alright. Yeah, so I had really bad groins. And then I always thought my knee was a blessing in disguise, that all this time off, my groins would be good. Came back then, was over there training, groins were bad. So I had them reconstructed, and it wasn't until my third year when I actually joined the main group, so left rehab and actually went out in the field and did the training. So then my third year I played 17 games. Out of a possible 21.
Is that at the senior level?
So that was the reserves level.
Uh-huh.
So they were pretty much like, so I was a third year player at this stage, so I was not getting on, but I was older than a few of the other boys. And they were like, you've never played, just go out there and have fun and make mistakes and you learn from it. Yeah. So we won our competition. Met some really good friends that year. I had a few family issues going on at home. Not issues, but what would you say, family circumstances, you could say.
Okay.
And along with that, my injuries in my fourth year, then I decided to come home.
Come back.
Yeah, which wasn't an easy decision, but it was a decision I was happy to make. And
yeah, and looking at now, any regrets, or do you think you have made the right decision?
I have no regrets. To be honest, I just found it harder adjusting to life than I thought it would have been. So no regrets, but slowly getting to where I think I hoped it would have happened a bit sooner.
The like, I'm sure you probably hear it, but whenever people do come back, like whether it be homesickness, like Conor McKenna obviously come back and everyone's saying homesickness, but everyone will be saying that you would just stay out, like it wouldn't be that bad. I know it's probably, people always think it's going to be easier and it's going to be brilliant. Is that the case, or is it a lot harder than people might think over there?
Yes and no. To be honest, I never really had any thoughts in my first 3 years, you could say. It wasn't until my fourth year, and then a lot of stuff going on at home, and everything just kind of came to a point with me, and I just thought I was young enough to come home and still go to college. Pierce obviously has been out there, and he's going into his, I'm going to say 13th, maybe 12th year.
That's crazy.
So
there couldn't be many other players that have stayed out that long.
No, yeah. And he's only getting his injuries. He had a few when he first went out, and he's had a couple in the last few years.
What sort of injuries are they?
So the minute he's his calf, he had his hamstring when he first went out back in 2006 and 7. Yeah. But there for a few years he was killing it. Like he was one of the best players in the competition. Yeah, so
it's crazy that he is, like, there couldn't be many Irish players that have stayed that long over in AFL. Like, it's really impressive.
No, himself now and Zach 2 year, doing really well.
Yeah. And are you trying to get over to Australia much to visit him when you can, or?
Well, this is the first time going back now. Well, 3 days time, so I'm going back for a month to see Pierce and a few of my friends. So it's well overdue, but.
Yeah, and what was the week to week training look like whenever you were over there?
I suppose pre-season was very tough. We used to train pretty hard, and then everyone just kind of used to hold out for the season, because then you used to be game recover. Yeah. So the in season wasn't too bad. It was pretty much skills on a Tuesday, training on a Thursday, game the Saturday. Yeah. And in between that, you did your gym and swimming and bikes, and then pre-season was pretty tough. Yeah. There'd be 3 times a week, but again, you always had at least 2 days off. So you trained hard, but they gave you good time, and a lot of good downtime. So
what's it like for both of you? You just played under 21s, minors. You played in big games, and then you're playing Sigerson big games. What's it like going from that to then going back and playing like a club match or a club pre-season friendly? Is it kind of like, fuck this here, or do you not think about that there?
Actually, I'd be the opposite. I actually love it. I love going back. I don't know about you, but I love going back and playing football with the club. Just friends you've grown up with, and like you can have a bit of fun. And club isn't as serious. Yeah. So you go to train and you'll enjoy the trainings, and there's not this thing, oh, you have to be performing really well, or you have to be doing this or that. It's you go, you have fun with your mates, and you still get some good work done. But you come off and you've enjoyed the session, like. And in our club, we kind of like to enjoy ourselves on and off the pitch as well, so it helps.
He's like a drink, is basically what you're trying to say
there. Well, just even on the pitch, like we'll have the crack with each other, and like you'll give each other a bit of stick and stuff, and it's enjoyable. Like,
are you the same club?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what kind of level is that? Are you senior, intermediate, junior?
Senior, yeah. We made it to the county final last year. So we went in a good run. We hadn't been there. We won it in 2012. And then Castlebar and Ballintubber have won it every year since. And then we made it to the final and lost to Ballintubber by 3 points. So
closer this year, do you think, or is there a big gap between using Ballintubber, or do you think this year could be the year? Or
I'd give us a good chance. Yeah. I mean, this time last year, myself, Shairoze, David Drake, Andy Moore, and we were all involved with Mayo.
Mm-hmm.
So we were training hard at this stage, and I feel the fitness levels would have been a bit higher. So the four of us now are away from that.
Yeah.
So I might test us four out a little bit more. But no, yeah, we'd have a good chance. We have a good team. So
how hard is it whenever you're playing with Mayo and you're going far every year with that, and then trying to balance that with club? You know, is it difficult when you know boys are probably wanting you down to training more and you can't make it there because of other commitments, or do you feel more pressure when you have to play?
Our club are pretty understanding. Like, they know once it would count, you're getting your trains in anyways, you know. And then it's just up to the other boys that are involved with the club team to get their work done and train hard. So then when we come back, it's just kind of getting us fitting back into the team rather than us being unfit or them being unfit, you know.
Yeah. Do you find the speed of like the game or the training is much different, or?
Yeah, well, to be honest, again, I'm coming back from playing AFL, so I was out of the game for a few years, and I found it was just weird even coming back playing. Like, it was different when I was minor.
Like, it was very different.
Yeah, I couldn't even describe it to him. It hasn't changed that much in 4 years or 5 years.
What was different about it?
I can't even describe it. Obviously, I thought I'd come back and my skills would be perfect, but they weren't. Yeah, and little did I know it was a.
Just even tactics and stuff, like when you went out, everyone played kind of 15-on-15 and played football. Whereas now there's a lot of bodies and there's a lot of tactics and there's a lot
so different, slowed down and
games change a lot. You kind of don't realise that, do you, until you kind of sit and look back.
Yeah, it's funny now because even Pierce comes home and watches games and he's like, "What is this?" It's like a game of basketball at sometimes, you know.
Like I had Mark McHugh from Donegal.
Yeah.
And I was chatting to him and I was saying, like, you know, do you realise that in that year you just essentially changed Gaelic after that there point, like, and since 2012 it's been massively different, like.
Yeah.
What do you think about all the rule changes of the past couple of months?
Oh.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't mind them trying to change a few rules,
to
be honest, because I think something has to change.
But you kind of suppose played under essentially what is happening now in Gaelic.
Yeah, and I like it. I'd rather sit down personally and watch a game of AFL at the minute.
Yeah.
Again, I understand it. Whereas come back to Gaelic, there's so much uncertainty around certain things. And I feel they're trying to obviously create rules to stop that, but it's hard as well.
Yeah.
And you've one referee trying to.
You just played at St. Sigerson, didn't you?
the new rules, yeah.
How'd you find it?
Well, we didn't know we were going to use them until I think December, and then it was just kind of.
Did you think it changed the game much?
It does, yeah. Especially the marks and the inside mark. It's kind of like you're given a free basically to kick it over, you know?
Yeah.
As long as you can get a good ball in, catch it, then you've got a free. Whereas Gaelic football, I think, was meant to be more free flowing and test your skills with the opposition kind of trying to tackle you rather than here's a free shot at the goal.
I think the advanced market, I think as you say, the ideas are probably good, but they still have to flesh out a few details.
Yeah.
Like I think the midfield marks, I play midfield, and over the past couple of years, whenever you want to mark, you have like 3 or 4 seconds, and if you've maybe fallen down with the ball and you get up and you don't know where you're going, you end up not knowing what to do with it, like, and you have to wheel it. But at least I think you have 15 seconds now, which is a bit nicer. But I still think like the advanced mark, especially when you have like the 4 steps after it, it's good. I think nobody really understands it yet. I think you need a season or 2 to get through it, like, don't you?
Yeah, I've seen games. I went and watched the Mayo under-20s a lot this year, and there was on 3 occasions I reckon the ref is blowing the whistle for a mark and the players dropped it.
Aye.
And then everyone's stopping. Why is he blowing the ref? Do you know what I mean?
Nobody knows what's going on. I just don't know at club level how it's, you know, a referee coming in on Sunday morning probably couldn't be bothered to be there.
It's going to make it a lot harder for them, you know.
You kind of feel bad for them nearly more
trying
than anything.
To keep up with the rules of the game, and then you've got to see where the ball was kicked from, if he caught it or, you know, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to make it difficult.
It'll take time, but I think they're trying to do the right thing. So.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. What do you think of Mayo season so far? Monaghan tomorrow, isn't it?
Monaghan tomorrow, yeah. They're getting a lot of new faces in there, some good players. And obviously Killian, I think, is back on the bench this weekend. And
What led you boys to kind of not join the panel this year, or was it, what's the kind of story there?
We left the panel last year just on personal terms. Left, just too much going on outside of football at home and stuff, and then the company was doing really well. So that's why I kind of decided to step away. was hoping to go back to Pakistan, but then I was kind of persuaded. Ended up going to America for the summer. Loved that. I actually don't regret it. And people have asked me that many times. Would you stay on, or would you? I actually don't regret making that decision of leaving the panel and going away. I loved America. Came home with a really clear head.
Was it Boston or Philly? Sorry, did you say?
I went to Boston last summer. Philadelphia was a couple of years ago.
What club were you at in Boston?
Galway Boston.
Galway Boston.
Yeah.
I see you left and played there then.
Played with them. So myself and Keane went over together to Galway Boston last summer.
What was that like?
Very good. Yeah, nice to get out of the sun.
Football at all? Or?
We played.
We tried. We weren't very good now, but
Boston's a cool city, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
I was there for St. Patrick's Day like 2 years ago maybe.
Okay.
It's a cool city. Like.
Yeah, it's class.
I had a couple of friends were out in Boston this year as well, but it seems like a great thing going out and playing there for a summer. Like,
yeah.
He's not attracted to go out this year to play, or?
I am, yeah. I mean, I wasn't called into Mayo this year, and obviously the way the club season falls, it allows us to go away and then come back and still make championship and be back a week or two before. So the club have said as long as I'm back a couple of weeks before championship, then no problem with me going. So
yeah, so that's a big possibility then this year.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, don't know about you, but
and now you don't have to give me any specific details here. I'm just curious. Is there much money involved in one of them situations going out there?
I've heard a lot more, but yeah, there'd be a bit, yeah.
Yeah. I've heard some like numbers from different players. You hear a lot of rumours.
Yeah.
But are some of them over exaggerated, or do you think?
I'd say some of them are exaggerated.
Some of them are, yeah. But
some of them wouldn't be exaggerated.
Certain individuals getting good money out there, yeah, let's say.
Getting a wage, basically.
Yeah.
Very close to it, yeah.
I suppose as well, you could look at, you might get good money, but there's 14 of us in a 4-bedroom house.
Yeah.
Whereas I know other boys that are going over aren't living.
And yous are working as well, obviously. Or yous working?
Construction work, yeah. Well, you didn't work as much as I did, but
that wasn't for me.
You were well looked after.
He wasn't
I wasn't able
to do the construction work. That was more the thing.
One day on the side and you got the job.
Yeah, I got a nice painting gig then, so I did that for a few days. But
no, I was on the construction side of it, so kind of anything from demo work to framework to anything really, kind of a handyman.
Was it tight going, or was it?
It was tough. It was tough, but I didn't mind it. Didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Certain days now you came home and you had a big day put away, and then you might have to go to training, so then you're like, oh.
And is there actual Gaelic pitches out there, or is it just fields you're going out and playing in, or?
We trained on the Harvard AstroTurf, so we used to go to Harvard.
Then you coming out of Harvard and seeing like 15 lads from Ireland just going out and playing.
Funny story, lad, because when we went out, we didn't believe it that they train in Harvard, like. They're like, oh, we just go there every week and we just train. Like, nobody says anything. Like, we don't have permission to do it and nobody stops us. So we just go and do it. Which is mad. Like, even when we went to play...
So no one has actually given any permission?
There's a few other guys playing soccer, so there was some days we'd send them down the other side and we'd train our side.
And then, same with Boston College. Like, there was times we just walked into Boston College and brought a football.
The university was open, yeah.
And then same with the basketball court.
That's like even just going around them stadiums and all too.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
And is the trainings is it the trainings just a mess about, or is there actual training involved?
Yeah.
They try and structure, but it was a mess about. Yeah. It was just.
But again, I think there's different levels. Like, we come up against Donegal, Boston, they were all shouting at each other and doing this, and we were all like,
the tactics.
Yeah. Whereas we were just kind of having a crack. Well, the guys tried to put on some sort of structure, but I don't think.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I know, it was good.
Yeah.
What's the incentive for them clubs, paying out that big money to bring players in? Because I always wonder that even at at Sigerson level, boys will get good scholarships to go and play. Like, what's the return? Is it just boys like 13 winning, or?
I don't know. I mean,
out there, I'd say
they want to stay connected to home as well.
Yeah, that's what I would think. They're obviously doing well out there with whatever line of work they're in.
Yeah.
A lot of them can't come home. Obviously, not having visas and stuff, so they like to be involved with kind of some aspect of home.
Yeah.
I suppose if you have the money as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they can stay connected and get players out there, and it's different summers and experiences for them as well.
Yeah.
I suppose they play a bit of a football manager role too, trying to scout around and.
To feel a part of home, like you're seeing certain guys on the telly playing for their counties, and next thing you're kind of bringing them out for your team. Do you know?
I suppose I bring it out to the wee area and all to live in too and stuff like.
Exactly.
Yeah. Aye, so possibly going back to this year then. So no want to kind of play for Mayo this year, or what's it?
Well, for me, so moving home, I found obviously very tough, as I said before. So I talked with the management and chatted to the players and just said, to be honest, I don't feel where I'm at the minute I can contribute. I'd rather take some time away, look to go travel, and did that. And then going to Boston, then I haven't heard anything back. So I started playing some good football then with the club, and started to enjoy my football again. So at the minute I'm just playing with the club and doing my own gym and enjoying it. Yeah, so I just want to get back to when I was 18 and playing good football, really. So at the minute, no, it's not looking likely for this year, but we'll see in the future.
Yeah, possibly in the future is looking to get there. And then like what?
Yeah.
You know, what does it sort of take to get on that panel? Like you're at that level now. What does it sort of take? How many hours a week? Are you talking, if you're looking to commit to that and you're trying to run this business inside, you just have other work to do, you have uni, how many hours a week are you talking you have to add into that?
Well, I know when we were coming from Dublin down to training, it's like, especially when you're training in Mayo, you were looking at 8, 9 hours, 10 hours a day. Even travel alone, you're spending 5 hours, 6 hours up and down, you know.
How many times a week would you do that?
We didn't come to Mayo that often, but when we did, you're looking at that. But even midweek sessions were 6, 7 hours. That's Tuesday or Thursday, and then your weekend is taken up with football as well. So I'd say in around 30 hours a week, easy.
Yeah, it's a rude awakening. Like,
yeah,
I said, so in Oz we used to have our training pitch, the stadium, the gym, everything was in like 20 mile radius. Do you know what I mean? So you go, you get your coffee on the way, you train. Whereas now it's like, right, you're getting in the car, driving to Barcelona, you got to be there an hour and a half before training starts to do all your prep, and then you're getting strapped, and then you're training, then you're eating and meetings, and it's just a lot. It was tough.
It's a lot of time. I even find, you know, even at the club level, whenever I've got the gym and different things going on, whenever you start something like that, you don't realise how little time you have for like it just, everything condenses down and you're trying to play football on top of it. But like, I would imagine for any of those lads that are playing, that are trying to run a business themselves, it would be fucking tough, like, to try and do both.
Yeah,
extremely difficult. Just with time, like you were trying to work with Andy, and then I was in college, and then trying to run a business part time. And a lot of the guys are actually students, or they're working full time in good jobs. They need their employers to be kind of lenient, and like even leaving early to go make a training session and be on time for a training session. You know. Yeah. Because from Dublin, we used to leave around 2:30, 3 o'clock. That's around lunchtime or just after lunchtime of a working day for people. So
there's not many companies would be happy with that happening, like, would there be?
I suppose they have to.
It was in your profile as well.
Yeah, profiles. It's
a lot of it.
Aye.
But then the guys, I suppose, some of them could be making up hours the evening before or coming in early that morning. So there's a lot to it, you know.
It's a lot of hours in a week, like, isn't it? Do you think it's worth it?
When I was in there, yeah, definitely. When I stepped away and kind of thought back what I was doing, you kind of look at it and think, geez, I was putting a lot of hours there for what, really? Do you know? It's different if you're playing and you're playing week in, week out. But if you're just a panel member and you're just there, it's difficult.
Tough.
But you wouldn't be in there if you didn't like it, you know. You do it because you love it, essentially.
Nearly everyone, all the lads I chatted to, like, they would say the hours is massive and time commitment, but ultimately you do it because you want to do it, like.
Yeah.
It's a big honour, like. Yeah. Especially for you know, Mayo, like, when you're, the likelihood of you just getting to Crook Park and those last few stages is going to be very high.
Yeah, I think that's it. Because I think, like, me and I think you're the same. Like, we loved Mayo. So that's what he found it hard. When I moved home and he was on to me, he was like, well, you used to live and breathe it when you're under 18, and now you're finding it hard. And again, it was just where I was at in my life. So I feel in a year, so if I start back in college and start to get good routine going and just suits me, then I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why we can't get back into it and get going again, but I just think where we were last year just wasn't really where I wanted to be. So
but even coming home from Boston, getting that breakaway, like, you came back and two of us enjoyed our breakaway, and we came back and we played better football once we came back, having taken that break.
Yeah, do you think it was just like you kind of got a mental break as well nearly from it?
It wasn't,
It wasn't serious for a while.
Yeah, came back in a very good headspace. I'm not sure how you thought of it.
Same.
And whenever you use, so am I right in saying you won under 21 and then Mayo minors you won as well? You were captain of that team?
So no, I was on Stephen Cohen was captain the year we won it,
Right.
and then I was captain the following year we won the Connacht title, and then we lost in the semi to Kerry.
Okay, sorry for bringing that up.
That's all right.
The year that you won it, that was obviously big crowd those days. Like, have you played in Croke Park with like close to 80,000 in it, or been involved in them sort of
Yeah, that
situations?
So long
Big crowd,
final,
those
semi-final.
Two semi-finals, yeah.
Well, the Kerry game, so it was a double header. It was
Uh-huh.
Mayo Kerry, minor and senior, our year.
Yeah.
So come half time in the second half, there was a big crowd for our game. I'd say it could have been 55,000.
What's that like whenever you're, that underage level playing in that? Do you
Um,
hear it or do you notice it or?
Looking back at it, like the atmosphere in the Croke Park, I think, changed a lot between half time, because you go in at half time, it was pretty
Yeah,
empty, and
yeah.
you come up for the second half, and you're like, where did all these people come from?
What
And a
just
massive
happened
cheer,
there?
like, yeah, it was mad.
I am sure that's like very few people will get the experience at the play Gaelic. It's a pretty cool thing.
No,
to
it's
play in
class.
Croke
Thinking
Park.
back
Yeah.
on it, like, it was unreal.
Especially as a 17, 18-year-old,
Crazy.
you know.
So talk to me then about GRG. What does GRG stand for?
So GRG is Game Ready Gear. So GRG Sports. So myself, Shairoze and Tom Parsons have a sports company. So we're kitting out local Gaelic teams, schools, soccer teams. So I started off with something small, it's kind of grown into something bigger. So yeah.
How did it start? Were you just making gloves or something, or did it start from actually?
So I started off myself at the start, myself and another guy from Mayo, and then Tom was looking to come on board at the time, and Keane had just moved home, so it's kind of the experience the two boys brought from different backgrounds, and us three having coming from different backgrounds, and worked really well. I would have been really good friends with Keane before he went out, so when he came home I was kind of pitching ideas at him, and he was coming back with a few things, so we were like, geez, we could actually get something going here.
Yeah.
And then obviously Tom's interest, which was shown before, we then reached out to him, and he was still looking to come on board. So that's how we came about with Game Ready Gear, and we've kind of gone from strength to strength since.
How difficult is it, starting something like that from scratch?
Very,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, like even just with clubs and people, because you're trying to sell something that they've never seen before. There's no experience. There's nobody else that has bought it before. But once you get into a club or get it to somebody, they kind of sell the product for you, and then you can go to a different club, and if they see a different club has it, they're more keen to buy it off you rather than
So
get it from scratch.
You're kind of going club to club then and getting out, and that's kind of the way of
Yeah,
going with it.
yeah. So, I mean, at the start we had a few hiccups, and we've come a long way to where we're at now.
Yeah.
And like we said, so there's a lot of referrals.
Yeah.
Referrals can be good, and they can also be bad. So for every 10 good ones, if you've one bad one, it's going to go that little bit further. But
being a new brand, a small brand, you get criticised more too, which we found. Like being the Adidas, the Nikes, the O'Neills. I don't know if I should be saying all the brands here, but you can get criticised. So they could do something and you could do the exact same thing, but because you're a newer and smaller brand, people would pick that out in your brand and kind of critique it and kind of
But
know about it.
Yeah, we're doing everything we can as well. So.
I would say even like trying to get suppliers and to make these things and go back and forward with them must be a challenge as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's all your side of it.
That's where I come in handy. So a lot of the guys are in around Asia, Pakistan, China. So my background, I was born in Pakistan, so I have family still in Pakistan. So the language barrier wouldn't be as difficult for me because I speak the language. So that helps. And then so most of our suppliers are from Asia, China, and Pakistan. So it's communication would be the difficulty, and then I've been back and I've seen a couple of them. So
that's a pretty unique thing.
It's good to have, so that's kind of what I bring to the team, and then other guys bring other aspects to the team. So that's kind of my speciality, I suppose.
Going to go down a different route here. We'll come back to it. When did you move from Pakistan to Ireland?
When I was 4, turning 5, so going back, I think 18 years, 2 months ago.
Right, that's a bit mad. And you were sort of back and forward then over there?
No, so I'd never been back up until 3 years ago.
Right.
That was my first time going back, and it was an eye opener. I've said that a couple of places now.
Really?
It was a shock to the system. Couldn't see myself living there. Nice to get back, visit some of the family and stuff, but not my cup of tea.
They take Mayo.
Yeah, so I've been in Balladreen since we've moved. That's where we've always lived. That's kind of my hometown. That's my home. That's what I'd see as home,
Is it a kind of rural area where you're from, or is it a town, or what's it?
Ballydreen would be a small town,
Yeah.
rural enough, but
Uh-huh.
it's a small town, yeah.
And would it have been a challenge, kind of growing up? Not being born in Ireland, was it a challenge?
Well, the language
There
barrier.
couldn't be
First
too
of all,
many Shairoze
No.
on about.
No, there isn't. No. So when we moved over, there actually wasn't that much of a Asian or Pakistani community around either. So we would have been kind of the first to come over. But the guys in Ballydreen, a lot of guys, there's a lot of good people there, like Paul McHugh, Desi Lynch, Declan Dunn, Andy Moore. Like a lot of these guys, helped us settle in and helped me with football and with everything really. And some of them still to this day help me with things. So
Yeah.
I'm very grateful for them.
Interesting. Sorry, I went in a roundabout way there.
You alright?
So back to the gear. So is it? I see you do gloves and all as well. Is it kind of by the both of you trying to do so like for an individual and the club as well then?
At the moment, we're not really targeting individuals. We're looking at teams and then clubs as a whole. That's kind of our target market at the moment. Kind of all sports at the moment. We've done tennis clubs, cricket clubs, obviously Cian said soccer clubs. We're looking to go down the route of cycling and some swimming gear and stuff as well in the future. So we're looking to expand.
How do you manage the time? Is it like it's bound to be difficult even like posting things, getting orders sorted? Like how do you manage that between you?
It's a lot of time. It's just kind of something has to be done.
Yeah.
If one of us can't get to it, Cian might get to it, or Tom might get to it, or somebody has to get to it. Somebody has to do it.
Yeah. At least there's 3 years anyway. Like.
Yeah.
That's where you need the bodies, and then Cian's mum and dad are very helpful as well. So we kind of use.
Using the garage at the minute for a little warehouse.
Yeah, so I give Andy and Natalie a plug there. And then obviously my brother kind of does a good bit for us as well. So we've kind of family members that'll help us out and give us.
You need that, like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. So then, why would the club order off you versus a different, like one of the bigger brands?
That's what we're finding. So, especially in Mayo, we're trying to be very, I suppose, what's the word?
Reachable and.
Sorry, the word in my head
there.
Very accessible. So in terms of like these Clutains, and they've said they've had dealings with numerous different companies and how some are good, some are bad.
Yeah.
Some are easy to get in touch with, but the gear might be good. So we want to be like, I suppose, in Mayo, Connacht, then good. Sorry, getting mixed up my words here.
Yeah.
Like good gear,
but
then also be like, so we're in a good time frame of 4 weeks. Once you put an order through, and then also our prices are competitive, along with like sizing and stuff as well. So
so easy to get in contact with, and essentially the exact same quality. Probably, I was looking at the stuff. You probably have different designs, obviously, than a lot of other companies. So it's a different
so we have a few different round necks, quarter zips, Chile, skinnies.
We have the full range.
Again,
yeah. The number of designs. I suppose we can be related to teams personally because we actually go down and meet them. So like I know a number of clubs, they see Tom Parsons coming down, like Mayo people, the way they're mad for football. So kids love that. So Tom Parsons came down and he sized us up for the kit and stuff. So I think that's very important. And then obviously Cian's background with the AFL and having represented Mayo underage and with the senior team. So I think that's a big plus for us.
Yeah, saving good networking wise as well, getting into clubs and stuff, using the players and all.
And that's it. So we're using that to get in the door, and then obviously our gear then is keeping us there. So.
And how come you haven't targeted like individuals? Is it rather go for kind of more? I don't know, more people at one time, or is it
manpower,
maybe not as much money? I suppose, I don't know.
Bit of both, and manpower. I think just for individual stuff, you need somebody there the whole time that's kind of full time that can go out and post stuff or take orders in, and that sort of nitty gritty work that needs to be done. Whereas between Tom working full time in football, Cian working part time, and then part time company, and then myself being in college, there's a lot going on. So that'd just make it extremely difficult.
So we never know in the future, but just at the minute it's just kind of working.
And enjoying it, or is it becoming a stress now?
I'm starting to enjoy it.
There's times there's a bit of both, But it's enjoyable.
Like when you start to get busy, and then the two of us, I can't get in touch with the two boys because he's in class and Tom's working, and I need someone to call. But no, it's good. Starting to enjoy it.
I can imagine. Like I know that myself, like opening up the gym and stuff over the past year, you have times where it's tough. Like I think in any business, I think you sort of think that you're very unique and yours is different than anyone else, but business has so many ups and downs, and like there's times when things are going fucking great and you're like, this is class, and then it goes the opposite way very quickly. I'm sure you are seeing that, but whenever you have to, I think whenever you're in control of it, you know, it's so much better. Like,
yes, yeah.
Well, I think that's what makes and breaks a business or a person really. If you can get through the bad times and come through it and still be doing well, that'll kind of set you up nicely going forward.
I would say so. That's the big challenge with it, like, is how you can kind of deal with that there, and then obviously you just have, it's a competitive market too, like, you know, so it's always, you're always dealing with that too.
Yeah.
Well, our quality and kind of styles and stuff, all three of us come from different backgrounds, so we kind of bring something special and unique, whereas a lot of the guys are just kind of local Irish people, or I don't know what other companies are, to be honest, but him coming from AFL, he kind of brings something different, and then Tom, having represented Mayo for the last 10-12 years, represented Ireland for the international rules, so kind of we all bring that and collaborate together.
I think the fact that you play too, it's like your athletes design it for our athletes too.
Exactly, that's a big thing.
You kind of know what you want from it, like, which is a big thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what's the goals of this? Is this something you're just sort of hoping to keep as a side project going along with work, or are you hoping this turns into the main work, or?
That's what we're looking at, hoping to get it bigger and push it on, That's kind of our goal and target.
I think even with any business, it's just the experience of doing it is brilliant, and being in control of it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine now working for somebody else. Whenever you're in control, like, you know, there's good and bad that comes with that. It's definitely it's a unique thing, like. So, what we're going to do now, I always do like a quick fire round at the end of all these.
What? Sorry?
Quick fire round.
Okay. Yeah.
Usually not a quick fire round. It's just like a couple of questions.
Yeah.
And if you want to chat away, you chat away. Or if you want to just make it a yes or no, that's fine. Okay. First one, toughest opponent you've ever played against?
I'll let you go.
Oh, that's a tough one. It's a lot. Club, county, what are we looking at? Or just
the hardest man you've played against?
I marked Andy Moore in AB.
Decent player.
Mayo game. I didn't think he'd be as good as he was. You obviously play with him in the club, but you kind of take him for granted. But marking him in a county session, that's when you really know the quality he's at. And
also good, like, he just looks, when you watch him movement wise, he's brilliant. But what did you find whenever you're marking was so tough?
Everything, like, stronger, he kind of gets in around you. He uses rear end really well to come in front of you, and then just movement wise, he's so clever upstairs. He's thinking 2 steps ahead of you, you know, which is fascinating to watch.
I would say so.
I suppose now you're saying Andy sticking in Mayo training on Paddy Durkin. When he goes, he's a hard man to catch. Yeah. And then I suppose against another county, I played against Limerick 2 years ago now. I was on White, I'm not sure of his first name, but ball's been thrown up, he's taken off, ran the full length of the field, won a penalty. So they've got a goal straight away, and I was on him, so he wasn't too bad either.
I would say so. Best GAA moment? Or I suppose we'll just put the best sport moment, because I know a few of us here have played multiple sports now at this point.
I suppose for me in Gaelic would be winning the Connacht final in 2014.
Right.
So it was the year I was captain. Going up and lifting the cup.
Special one.
Yeah, would stand out for me. Then in Australia would be kicking my first goal. So obviously it was the first one, so it was a good bit out. Swung around on the left foot and then went through the sticks, and all the boys came around me, like the whole team came and jumped on me, so it was good.
Was it a hit and hope, or did you actually?
Oh well, I meant it, but it was a bit of a hit.
I would say winning the All Ireland.
Yeah.
Under 21 All Ireland in 2016, and then along with that, our fresher team that won the championship that year as well.
Right.
So them two would kind of be up there.
Good session in Dublin after that.
Just a group that you won it with, but that helps too.
Do you go out much in Dublin whenever you're a student, or?
It's difficult with time, with football, with work, with company work, and then I'm in final year trying to get my FYP done and a lot of college work to be done. So I think this is kind of make or break for your degree as well. So you kind of have to give preference into that rather than.
So that's a no then.
Well, we have our nights. We have your.
Where do you go out in Dublin as a student?
you could name off a
Load
number
of places,
number of places.
It's not like big places like Coppers and stuff like that. You obviously avoid all them places, or do you go to them?
Well, you'd make an appearance in them as well. So that'd be one of the nice.
Show your face every once in a while.
Exactly.
Fair enough. Worst moment, GAFL?
Worst would probably be doing my knee in the All Ireland semi final, or the year before, doing my collarbone in the All Ireland semi final.
Bad record, so.
Yeah, semi finals weren't good.
Not good for you. How many fucking injuries have you had at this point?
I've had a few.
Jesus. Shairoze?
I'm going to say the county final last year against Ballintubber.
Oh yeah.
Just the way we lost it in the end.
Yeah. Everybody, lads with chat today, everything, well, at the best moment, worst moment, nearly always revolves around the club. Like, it's a very different thing, the club, like, playing with it versus county, obviously.
Yeah. It's guys that you've lived with, you've kind of gone to primary school, secondary schools, you see them all the time. And I think the way nobody expects us to get to the final in the first place plays a massive part in me saying losing the final.
Have you won that before recently, or?
The last time Bala won it was 2012. We would have been 14, 15, 16 years old. Yeah.
So it'll be a nice moment, like, as well, first time sort of won that. Yeah. Best session after a win?
Best session after a win. I think in club now after Claremorris last year was pretty good.
That was the first round of championship too.
Celebrate after everything.
And we've had some good club nights now the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And we just go into town, small town. We just go into like the small pub. So Solon's in town and just be hopping. So
yeah.
Fair
enough.
A few of them stand out.
Same for yourself, Shairoze, or
a few club nights, or then obviously when you've won something big and you've kind of gone on it for a week and a half solid, number of them, but I'd say club with that would be
it's usually older people ask this, they've been advice for any younger players or anyone that is listening to this here, 14, 15.
Be careful what you say here now.
Advice.
Don't play in semi-finals, maybe.
I would say that. Still putting in the work, you kind of get what you put into it at the end of the day. If you're not putting in the work, you're not going to make it to wherever you want to make it to. So you got to put in the groundwork, and you have to go and do your skill sessions and gym sessions, and obviously eat and recover.
Yeah, I suppose depending on age, I suppose when you're young, it's playing as many sports as you can. I do like that one. I find a lot of the good Gaelic players have played other sports. And we're very good at other sports. Soccer and basketball being two, even hurling, I suppose. And then I suppose the few older ones would be your skill work. So going to Australia, the emphasis that we put on skills, like even standing in a room and just hand passing against a wall, bouncing it off the floor back to yourself, I feel we neglect that a little bit here, and it's all done at 100 miles an hour with pressure. Whereas it's easy just when you're going to the gym, bring a football with you. Left hand, right hand, through your legs. I mean, it actually does. It goes a long way.
That's Desi Mohan played for Monaghan.
Yeah.
I had him in the podcast
about a week ago.
It's going up. It's going up this Monday. But he said the same thing. He said he brings brother football with him to the gym, practicing skills like.
Well, that's it. Like going to Australia was like, wherever you go, bring it with you. You're going for lunch, bring it. I think Pierce was told to sleep with it when he first went out. But that's it. So then come to a game, whatever the situation is, the ball, you just feel comfortable with it.
Yeah. That's a good one. And then if someone is looking to find out more about GRG, where do we reach out? Where's the best place to go?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, kind of on all social media platforms.
Our website then as well.
Website.
So if someone has an inquiry, best way is probably just get you an Instagram.
Yeah, or even getting onto the website as well, because it's all linked through, so we get notifications and then we get back to them.
So GRG Sports on Instagram, and then similar website as well.
Yeah,
I'll try and fire it all up before this here anyway. Lads, that's 50 minutes. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks, William.
That's us.
Good man.
Cheers, Oisin.
Good stuff, lads. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it.
It's alright, yeah, it was good.
It was quick.
You could chat in these things for like an hour. For like another hour, hand in.
I'll forget what I said in the first 15 minutes.